If there's one thing we've learned when it comes to MCU movie trailers, it's not to trust what we see in them. For example, the Avengers Infinity War trailer showed the Hulk fighting in the Battle of Wakanda, and that definitely didn't end up happening in the movie itself. The Avengers Endgame trailer got us all excited for next April, but just how much of it can we believe? In this video, we'll be talking about the parts of the fourth Avengers movie trailer that could be lying to us. Don't you dare forget to hit that subscribe button. It's the best way of keeping up to date with all of ScreenRant's great new videos. The Avengers Endgame trailer opens with Tony Stark floating around in space, having run out of food and water, with oxygen on the verge of running out, and with zero chance of rescue. And that is the first lie we're told. Stark talks about this being the end of his journey, but of course we all know he'll survive, at least beyond his lonely space adventure. The likelihood is he'll be saved by someone like Captain Marvel, Thor, or even Pepper Potts in the rescue armor. So don't be too worried. He'll definitely have a much bigger part to play in Avengers Endgame, even if he ultimately doesn't make it out of the movie alive. Thanos is then shown on his farm, living out his life in peace, having accomplished his goal of erasing half of all life in the universe. There certainly aren't any major lies being told in this scene. It doesn't really last long enough for that, but he is still shown to be wearing the charred Infinity Gauntlet, and that may end up being far more shiny and fixed in the final version of the movie. Why would he still have it on if it was damaged beyond repair? He may even not be wearing it at all, if he considers himself to be safe from attack on this barren, as yet unidentified planet. The scene then switches to an external view of the Avengers headquarters in upstate New York, before we see Steve Rogers, Natasha Romanoff, Bruce Banner, and Thor. And while the placing of the wide external shot of their HQ would suggest that's where they all are, they could really be anywhere. However, the potentially biggest lie of the trailer appears in these scenes. Bruce Banner is shown next to a holographic gallery of people who are missing after Thanos' snap, or the decimation to give it its now official in-universe name. And those people include Scott Lang, Peter Parker, and Shuri. Now, we know Lang was in the quantum realm, which makes his missing status legit. We know Parker was stranded on Titan when he turned to dust, therefore his missing status is also legit. But Angela Bassett recently confirmed that both her character Ramonda and Letitia Wright's Shuri survived the snap. So the fact that this trailer has led fans to believe Shuri turned to dust could be a lie. Of course, Shuri could also be alive and missing, perhaps if she's headed off on some kind of quest or adventure, but she may well be alive in Wakanda, with her missing picture placed deceptively into the trailer for the purpose of misdirection. We then see Nebula on board a spaceship, followed by a close-up of a hand touching someone on the shoulder. The scene seems to suggest that Nebula is on the same ship as Tony Stark, and that it's her hand touching Stark on the shoulder to comfort him, but both of those things could be lies. Nebula could be on a completely different ship to Stark, and that might not even have been her hand. Or Tony Stark's shoulder for that matter, given that the clothes don't seem to match what he's wearing in the earlier scenes. The hand does seem to have a blue tint to it, but that could be the lighting. Essentially, that hand and that shoulder, they could belong to anyone. Natasha Romanoff and Clint Barton, for example. Speaking of Barton, the trailer then turns its attention to him, in Japan, wearing new gear in the guise of Ronin. Natasha Romanoff is there, and while that's likely to be the case in the movie, don't be surprised if someone else ends up finding him in the Far East. He has a completely dejected look on his face, which everyone has assumed is because his family was erased in the decimation. Again, that probably happened, but it wouldn't be that much of a surprise for us to discover they were actually alive and well, and that something else has driven him to mercilessly kill a load of Japanese gangsters. Natasha Romanoff and Steve Rogers are then shown again, and it's notable that Romanoff still has blonde hair and Rogers has shaved his beard off. Both of those things seem like strange things to deceive fans about, but given how much people have been talking about her hair color and his shaven face, don't be surprised to discover Romanoff as a redhead and Rogers with a big bushy beard in the final movie. The pair are talking about their plan, and everyone's assuming it's the plan to reverse time and undo Thanos' actions. But there may well be a plan before that, with only Romanoff and Rogers in on it, which fails at the first attempt. The movie's title then appears on the screen, and while some underwhelmed fans would like to believe it's not the finalized official title, we're pretty sure it is. Then the trailer's zinger happens. Scott Lang, who was of course completely missing from Avengers Infinity War, is shown on a screen trying to gain access to the building Romanoff and Rogers are in. Again, we're all assuming it's the the Avengers headquarters, but it could be anywhere really. It is, after all, quite difficult to imagine it being that easy to drive up to the front door of such a secure, high-tech facility, even for a skilled former criminal like Paul Rudd's character. And that was our trailer. The only other lie we were undoubtedly told is the order in which the events of it were presented, and how long after the snap the events in the trailer occur. The opening scene of the movie may well be Clint Barton being brought back to America. We might not see Thanos until near the end, when the Avengers' plan starts to take effect. Tony Stark might not be seen floating in space until halfway through the movie. Then again, he might already be home by the time we see that gallery of missing people. Essentially, the whole thing could be completely out of sync with the order in which the movie is ultimately presented. And we're cool with that. We like surprises. We're also given the impression that a lot of time has passed since the snap, but for all we know, it might literally just have happened. Who knows? All things considered, the trailer didn't give much away, which is a good thing. And while we certainly got a feel for the movie's tone, we probably shouldn't believe a single thing we saw in it. Marvel are sneaky little devils, after all. Were you a fan of the Avengers Endgame trailer? In what ways do you think it might have lied to us? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to ScreenRant for more great videos just like this one. Bye for now.